Hey guys, in this video we'll be continuing with the Python video tutorials. We'll be going over how to import modules in this video and how we'll be working with the math module. So the math module has a variety of functions you can use for calculations. We'll just go over a few of them. I'll show you how to access them. We'll have to use a dot operator. I think we use it a couple times. We'll have to access the module. So first, I'm in pycharm again. So if you don't know what to use, you can use pycharm. It's good. So here we'll just have import. You have to import at the top, like Java pretty much. So we'll import the math module. So now we have access to those functions. So here we'll say def main. So here we'll have val points to float cast it to. The input function will say enter a number or a value, whatever. So here we'll have we'll just say we have a square root points to math, so we have to call the math module dot. So when I hit the dot operator, I don't know if you can see all these, but we have all these different functions we can use. There's about probably 100 of them or more. So you have access to a bunch of math functions, so you just call the module, which we already imported, hit the dot operator, which is just a period, and then we'll have we'll call sqrt, pretty standard across different programming languages, and then here we'll just pass in the value. Whoops, not as a string. So that'll basically take the square root of val, and then we're going to save it in the square root variable. And of course we can just print it out. We can say the square root of val. We could have here is, and then we can pass in square root here. Alright, so whoops, yeah, so we're gonna have to call main again at the end. Save that, and then we'll run it. Enter value, we'll select enter 4. The square root of 4.0 is 2.0. Because of course if we square 4 we'll get 2. This isn't a exponent, so it's not going to be 16. It's going to just take the square. So if we enter 16, we should get, whoops, not the debugger. So here if I enter 16, we should get 4. So the square root of 16 is 4. So there you go. That's how to import a module. Call the module here, dot operator here, and the function that you want. So we can calculate the hypotenuse of a triangle. So we can do that again here. So we'll import math. Then we'll say def main. So here we could just say a points to float. Cast it to the input function. Enter the length of side A. And here we could have b points to float. Cast it to the input function. We could say the same thing. Enter the length of side B. So then here we could have C points to math.highpot. Highpot. Or highpot, whatever, and then we're saying, we're passing in A, comma B for the parameters. It takes 2 parameters. If you're not sure about the parameters, you can look up the Python docs. Just Google Python docs. It should be on python.org, I believe. You can find the math module and you can find the different modules. Whatever function you're looking for, you can find the definitions. Yeah, that should work pretty good. Use the docs, of course. If the language has docs, unlike C, which doesn't really have any good docs, you can use the docs if the language has them. Definitely use the docs, get used to them, get familiar with them. It's nice when they have a standard set of documentation. For example, the C programming language doesn't. They just have that one C programming book, which pretty much is just, doesn't really explain everything, of course. But yeah, Java has really nice documentation. Android has very awesome documentation as well. I think Python has some pretty good documentation, which is good because you need a standard set of documentation. Yeah, so C# has a pretty good set of documentation. We'll be going over that pretty soon once we finish Python. So yeah, so we have that, and then here we'll just print it out. So we'll say print the length of the highpot use is, and we'll just pass in C, and then here we'll just call main. Enter the length of side A, 5, enter the length of side B, 10, then enter, so the hypotenuse is 11.1. There you go. I think we got another one here. Math pi and E. Actually, we got 2 more. We got 2 more. 2 more of these math. So so what we can do here is we can store functions in modules. So basically you can stick these in different files. So the whole point of modules is that you can have one set of functions that are related to, for example, a circle. You can have them in one file, and all the functions related to like a rectangle you can have in one file, for example. If this were like an app, you could have like user data stored in one module for each user or something. What's a better example? You could have like one module for password validation. You can have like another module for like username validation. You could have like another module for like birth date validation. I don't know, something like that. Basically, you can just group. So what is a module? So a module is like a file in Python which has a .py at the end of it. So basically, we can open up another file which is a module and write functions in it. And if we need other functions, we can write them. And then we want to import. So if we want to import that module to another module, we just do import and then the file name. I don't think we'll actually probably do that here, but just know that you can. So let's just go with it. If we have to create some more modules, we can. So here, let's say, let's just do another math example. Just a few more math functions, why not? So here we'll have import math again, of course. We'll say, so we do need a def main, but we could just write it like this for now. So here we can have a def area. So we could say it takes a radius. So we could say, okay, we want to return math.py. so you could access the actual pi value. And then we could say times radius to the power of 2, or of course you could just call squared probably. Or you can call the exponent. Should be an exponent. So you could say math dot pi times radius. You could probably call math dot. You could probably say math dot. So we have exp. It's probably a square too. Nope. Guess not. So we could call exp. We could pass in radius, something like that. I think that is, it's either exp or exp2, one or the other. So yeah, that would be it. We could, so again, we could create a function. We could call this one circle. We could call this file, like, I'm not going to do it because there's no point, but I'm just just giving you guys an example. Is we could create a file named circle.py, and then we could write, okay, well, we could say, okay, well, to take the area of a circle, you use this function to calculate the circumference of a circle. Then we do this function, for example. So say def circumference. Say that it takes a radius as well. So we could say return 2 times math dot pi times radius, something like that. And then in another file we could have like rectangle could I actually make these? I can't even see these built-ins. I don't think we really need to do it, to be honest. You guys get the idea. Like, we could just create a module for circle. We could create a module for rectangle. And then we could have a main, of course, and just call them. Yeah, so we could do that. I probably won't do it because it's gonna take too long to do that. But we could have here, so we could have, like, for example, we have circle area. We could have circle. So just different things with different, just examples of different things we can do in Python, of course. So here we have circle area, circle circumference. We could def rectangle area. So we could say takes a width and a length. We could say return width, whoops. Can't type again, so width, WTIDTH times length. That would be the rectangle area. And here we could have def perimeter, how do I spell it? Perimeter. In Canada, isn't spelled RE. Sometimes, maybe not. Alright, that's okay, so we'll just go with that. So we have def perimeter, and then we have width, then length. So again, we're just passing in width and length. As it's good practice for parameter passing at least. if you're following along. So here we have return and then function, returning function value. So here we have return 2 times width times length. And of course, again, we could put these two functions in a separate file called square if you really wanted to, which would be a module, of course, in Python. And if we had other functions that we wanted to, like get area, get rectangle area, get rectangle perimeter, set rectangle area, we could set them. We'll get into those getters and setters later on, how to create a setter. I'll probably make an actual video on those. But realistically, basically, you just for a getter you don't take a parameter, but for a setter you take a value and set the actual function to that value, or the object. So anyways, that's pretty much it. We may have, I think we have one more example here. Let's do the last one. Alright, so a bit of a longer one here. Okay, actually I think I'll leave this one for another video, because this is a menu-driven program. Which means that a menu-driven program is like a command prompt. Basically, you select options, like you select 1 to do one thing, you select 2 to do another thing. Yeah, so we'll probably leave that for the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the video, you can give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys want to see more Python programming videos, or any other programming languages, any coding, programming, any trading or investing stuff as well, you can subscribe to the channel if you'd like, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Take care.